Greetings, fellow speculators. I'd like to talk about my hurdle rate. I've been asked numerous times over time what my hurdle rate is. And to me, that's someone asking how much money or return has to come from this investment or this project to get you interested in the project or the investment. And if I was a large multinational corporation with endless amounts of money and investment possibilities, I'd probably have a number to tell you my hurdle rate, but I'm not. I'm just a private speculator. And so I just got an email from my sister, and I think this can help explain my hurdle rate. So I'd like to share this email with you. Her name is Monique. She lives in Detroit, and we've been buying rental houses together. So she says, hey, I'm going to cross out the name of this tenant. Hey, tenant X is moved in. Seems like a good one, but I hate to say that and be wrong. You won't believe what I did. So mom of me. She didn't have security deposit money, having come from a homeless shelter, so she applied to DHC, Michigan Welfare Place. I've heard of this before, and they don't seem to pan out, but maybe they will for her, having come from a homeless shelter. So I let her move in without a security deposit. But I told her I'd give her a personal loan that she needs to pay me $100 a month or until the deposit is either paid off by her or DHC. If DHC pays it, I will send her back the money. DHC will make the check out to Blue Adventure. Blue Adventure is the name of the company that we set up to own this house. So my sister, usually gets the security deposits when she finds tenants for me in these houses as payment for finding the tenant. It's a lot of work to find a tenant and vet them and make sure that they're a good one and they're going to last. But when she does get one in there and it lasts less than a year, then she's got to go find another one without payment. And if they last longer than a year, this is the deal I made with her, then she can charge me again on the next tenant. Beyond that. So she's looking for long-term tenants that are going to stick around, be low hassle for her to take care of as a property manager. Okay, on to the email. When I told her, she burst out crying in gratitude. Life has been rough. I didn't tell her at that time about the massive promissory note I made her sign. It says I can evict her if she doesn't pay it off, and she can't wrap it into a bankruptcy, and she basically still owes it if she's dead and I'm dead. Something like that. I found it in a landlord book. She didn't even read it. Just signed her life away. When we walked her through the house, Pat said, "Here's how you turn on the stove. It's just a simple stove." Pat is her husband. Pat takes care of these houses, maintains them, fixes them up. He walks into a house and knows exactly how much it's going to cost to get the thing ready to be a rental. So he's on the front lines. Back to the email. It's just a simple stove. That made her cry. She was super embarrassed and sad. She used to have a stove and lost everything. It's not just a simple stove to her. It's amazing. She's very shy and very grateful. I'm hoping she's our next best tenant. Here's the move-in photos. Before I go to the photos, bought this house in 2011, I believe it was, for about $14,000. Put a little bit of fix-up into it. At that time, you could get the whole house ready to go with contingency money in the bank account for the house for less than $20,000. Moved forward to present, it's $25,000 to sub $30,000 with contingency monies for whatever minor stuff that can go wrong in these things over time. And the first renters were paying $900 a month, I believe it was. Now I believe this one's paying $800 a month. Taxes on this particular house are about $180 a month. So plus some maintenance along the way, I kind of budget about $500 a month in free cash flow comes out of a house like this. So this new tenant gets 100% of everything paid by the government, including utilities. She has no reason to complain. She probably can't afford to move to anywhere else. This is changing her life. She is extremely happy, ecstatic to be moving into this house. It's a very basic house, but it's wonderful to her. And I'll show you some pictures of the house. And not just changing her life, but it changes my lifestyle too. Investments like this that pay those kinds of yields allow me to spend more time with my kids. And so here's some pictures of the place. It was just a basic Detroit house. I believe it was built in the 40s, maybe the 50s. It's brick. I mean, it's should stick around for a long time. Cement porch, brick and cement. It's spring in Michigan. There's some, basic landscaping, basic stairs, railing, little porch. It's a view of the neighborhood. Some of the neighbors have cars, but lots of our renters don't have cars. They like to be close to the bus routes. Very low income housing. My brother-in-law Pat likes to do floors. You see lots of pictures of floors. It looks like you refinished this floor. And carpets and all kinds of things. New paint. Just give it a new facelift. So lights and blinds, and if this were my house, I'd change it to LED lights, but maybe I should do that for the rentals too one of these days. It's a kitchen, tile. I believe Pat, my brother-in-law, redid that kitchen and tile in the background. And here's the stove. Here's a view of the stove. This particular lady didn't have any appliances. In Michigan, it's very customary to move in, bring your own appliances. In California, from my experience, it's very customary to have appliances already in the places. So we bought her a used stove and a used refrigerator. Just some basic ones that when she saw, she broke down crying. I couldn't imagine living without them, especially having a kid. There's the sun. There's some more floors. I think this is the bathroom. There's tub and tile, very Detroit looking tile. Sink, just basic pictures of the house. Fans, carpets. It's got a garage and a backyard, and something that just changed her life. And because of the yields off of units like this, that I hope to keep buying more of, it's changed my life too. So that's a huge impact. And to me, that's my hurdle rate. Beating out housing like this, just basic housing. You could tell kids used to live here. That's usually the best paying tenants from my experience, single women with kids. And I think it means more to them. Some stuff could use more work, in my opinion, but totally ready for a tenant. This tenant's very happy. There's a basement. So I just wanted to share some pictures and the story of some of the other investing that I get into, and my hurdle rate. These penny stocks, they have to beat something like this. They've got to have a speculative upside that's going to beat these upper 20s, lower 30% kinds of yields that I can get off of investing in real estate. And with the American markets flying, I think lots of other people are looking at investing in, their own houses or fancier houses or American stocks that have been going up the last couple of years versus buying exotic natural resource stocks. And so I think that's the competition. That's other people's hurdle rates. And if these little penny stocks can't put numbers on the board that compete with that, they're not going to draw in investors. And that's for me and personally, and I believe others as well. So we've got to find penny stocks with the opportunity and the shots to beat these kinds of returns, or else I'm not going to put my money into them. And they've got to beat these kinds of returns with a level of security that makes me comfortable, not just a drill hole hoping and testing to see if it goes up 100-fold from there based on the results. I mean, most of the time these things don't hit and they don't work, and they go down in price because they have less cash. So the strategy of speculating on these stocks, using other people's money to test their theories, can concentrate capital, expertise, especially expertise, other people's expertise believing in the same projects. I think makes them a lot more probable to happen and come through with discoveries, as well as preserving capital to take on the next shot, the next shot, and the next shot. And so looking at those strategies and very specific instances, I think it can beat the returns of these rental properties in Detroit. So that's what I'm looking for. That's my hurdle rate, and that's what I'm after. If you're interested in these kinds of rental properties and things, I'm always willing to share notes and talk about them as well. Please fill up the comments box below with questions, or feel free to just give me a call too. Numbers on my website, ProsperousAdventure.com. And I hope to buy more of these and more penny stocks along the way as well. If you're looking for updates on more penny stocks, speculative penny stocks, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as look me up on ProsperousAdventure.com. Thanks for listening.